Hello, thank you for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for when you come to them. For the tarot portion, I'm going to use the Idyllis Tarot, which is a smaller deck, but it's easy to shuffle, and I like the images on it. It is an Omnido. That's the creator, Omnido. There's this information with the what do we call it? I can't. My brain is not telling me what that's called, but put your camera thing on that or push that button, however that works, and you can find it. There's also the information there. I believe that they're just on Instagram. I found this deck on Amazon, I want to say. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out. The oracle cards I'm going to use for this one is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra Ann Taylor. The website, where is Sandra's website? I want to say she has her own website, but here's the Hay House website on the bottom, just below her picture. And I thought she had her own, maybe I'm mistaken. But yeah, I thought there was more websites. Maybe not. Oh, there they are. A bunch of Hay House websites. There they are, at the bottom. Okay, and last but not least, the dice I use a 21-sided dice for the major arcana, which does omit the Fool, but I make it work. And I believe that one is from this website, Tom Anders, and there's the information there if it focuses. If it's easier, here's another one of those. My brain cannot remember what you call that thing, but there it is. For the minor arcana, I use a 14-sided dice to choose the actual card, and then a 4-sided dice to choose the element. And the 14-sided dice came from here. I've had the 4-sided dice for the longest time. I couldn't tell you where they came from. I want to say it was Math Art Fun. Can't really see it here. Hopefully you can see it. mathartfun.com. All right, and that's what we have for that. Of course, if you'd like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much, and let's go on to your read. Hello, Aries. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Aries? Is that enough? Okay. Cards falling out. I mean, they can fall out, but... Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a good card. What is that? Yep, gotta put out the whole deck right now. The whole deck! Alright. Where are we going with this? So, are you avoiding something? That seems odd for Aries, but let's see. And it's going to go right on the floor. No, it stopped over there. Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Aries is usually okay with the Wheel of Fortune. And you got the Page of Wands. There was an opportunity. You took it. You kind of moved away from something. For a lot of you, I feel like this could be a work situation. Doesn't have to be. It's a general read. Maybe you had a chance to change departments or not work with somebody you don't really care for, or maybe somebody who was a little bit unscrupulous. You had a chance to distance yourself from somebody is what I'm getting. And you took it. You took it. And I don't feel any reason why you shouldn't have. It just kind of happened the way it happened, and it was fine. That distance with that person, there's something about that. I mean, we're bringing it up for a reason, but I feel like it might not make sense till later. So let's keep going. Current energy with this situation, and maybe this is just honing in on what category we're dealing with. You're doing what you need to do. You're not really overthinking it. It's not successful, but it's not holding you back at the same time. It's like, I would say partial success. it's kind of when you go to somebody's house to have dinner and they have good food, but you really don't like all the company. It's kind of like, well, the food's good. I don't know what the people I'm hanging out with, but the food's good. Something. So it's like partial success, something like that. You're being very strategic with how you're handling the situation. If this is connecting, you're already being strategic because you feel like you need to. It's kind of like, all right, the food's good. I don't really care for the people, but I got to be here anyway, so I'll just make it work. I feel like sometimes Aries gets a bad rap. People don't realize that Aries does have a lot of restraint, in my opinion. There's only so much you can stand, true, but you do have a lot of restraint when you need to. And whatever the situation is, and I keep feeling like it's a work situation because it makes more sense to me why you would kind of be strategic and hold yourself together a little bit differently than you would like if you were with family or friends. You would just kind of let it fly and be like, well, this is what I'm thinking. But it feels like I'm more restrained, and I'm like, I could say what I'm thinking, but that's not going to go well. And you're stabilizing the situation. You're making some very careful moves. I don't feel like I enjoy this, but I feel like this is what I gotta do. This is just what I gotta do, and this is how I gotta do it. So you're doing what you gotta do. Okay. The energy's like a little bit. It feels like a pressure cooker. Honestly, it doesn't feel. I don't feel like I like it, and I'm like, I don't know how long I can stand it. Even though I feel like you've probably been going through it for quite a while. Knight of Wands reversed. So that like I don't feel like I have control. Even though I'm making very smart moves and making very careful moves, I don't feel like I have control. And I don't really feel like I fit here partially, like some parts of it I do, but not enough to where I want to stick with it. And I feel like there's this moment where I'm like, do I want to keep staying with it? Or is this time to go? Is this my heads up that like maybe my time here has kind of been worn out? Maybe I've just had enough. And I feel like this is a moment where if this reading is hitting, it's kind of like, are you happy? And if you're not happy, how long before you will be again? Like if you're not right now, where do you see in your future where you will be again? Because whatever the situation is, I feel like that's a telltale sign that it's time to change. When you're like, I'm not really happy and I don't really know when I will be again if I keep going with this situation. And it's the question of like, do I let it go? Do I let what go though? Because it's kind of like the good luck cat is always looking sarcastic to me. But it's kind of like, you know what? It might get messy. It might get all over the place. It may not be something other people like. But if I make this choice and I decide to let go of what I don't really want, I have a chance to make something better. Okay, so what's your unseen opportunity? Because that's these two cards. Four of Wands. Oh, that's somebody else that you're already bonded to could help you change this situation. So, for example, if we're going to use like a work situation, maybe you work in a corporate environment. Maybe it's time to change teams again or change departments. Could be you worked with somebody in the past and they went to a different company and you still have connection with them a little bit. Maybe it's time to reach out to them. How are things going at that other company? How are things over there? Oh, they're great, Aries. In fact, they're hiring this if you're interested. Are you interested? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's time to reach out to those acquaintances that you got along with in the past that maybe you haven't seen in a while. Could be one of those things. Because they're saying there's a way out of this situation, and I feel like you probably already know this. I feel like you probably do. Once you start looking for it, you will find a way out. It's just one of those things where I don't dare look because once I start looking, it's going to be hard for me to not go. And once I start the process, I'm going to probably finish it. There's a reason you want to stay at this situation. There is some type of reason here. Something does hold you back from making that decision. It's making peace with that before you move forward. But again, I keep getting the same thing. Are you happy here? Because I'm getting, if this reading is hitting, you're probably not happy where you are. And if you're not, how long do you see yourself here before you are happy? Is that ever going to be happening in this situation? Um, you got to start heading towards what makes you happy. It's time to start heading towards what makes you happy. You ended up where you ended up, and you're here for a reason, but maybe the reason has been done. There's definitely something with acquaintances and friendships going on here. Other people want what other people want. Other people, I get the Tower and I get the King of Cups half in, half out when I'm highlighting this card. Other people might be very upset that you're going to make a change. And they may have this two-way energy where they're supportive one day and they're not the next because they want you to be happy and they realize this is something you need to do. But then after, when they really think about it, they realize how much this is going to make things more difficult for them, and they really don't want that. So it's a halfway. It goes back and forth. It's kind of a ping pong game, is what I keep getting. What don't do? Don't just hold the line. Don't just hold, this is what I'm going to do. Don't hold too strong to however you're feeling. However they're doing it, like, don't hold the line here. So, like, if they're treating you poorly or if they're treating you well, don't hold the line either way, is what I'm getting. Let this energy flow in and out. Don't stick with it, is what I'm getting. Let it flow in and out. Let it flow in and out. If they say something good today, great. Go with it and just let it go. If they say something today, the next day that's not so good, all right, then they didn't. Let's let it go and move on. Here's how we get to where you want to be. Start listening to what's going on between the lines with other people. Start moving forward and start going towards your opportunities. The Justice card comes in and it might be a more contrary energy. Aries is usually like very bold and very out there. This is how it is. This is what we need to do. The Justice card can be more political, more, how do I say it, more gentle. When I feel the Justice card, it's more about, I keep getting the energy of, there's two ways to, like, there's being right and there's being effective. And sometimes it's hard to get those lined up in the same category or the same boat. So it's kind of like, as you keep moving forward, remember where you want to be and do what you need to do to get where you want to be. There's going to be a lot of things going forward, especially with acquaintances, where you're going to be right. But if you talk about what you're thinking and you put it right out there, being right is not going to get you where you want to be. So it may be hard for Aries to do this, but it's just like either not saying anything or letting people think what they want to think. Being effective to where you want to go. Like, it's strategizing in a weird way. It's kind of like being more friendly or letting people believe what they want to believe, and then it's kind of like, that ain't right, and I don't really like that. What do you need to do to get where you want to be? And they're saying, don't hold too strongly to what people think or what they say. They could support you today and not support you the next, or vice versa. Maybe they haven't been very supportive, but all of a sudden they're very supportive. Take it with a grain of salt. Just help it. Use it to where you want to go. It's a weird energy that I'm trying to grasp a little better because it doesn't feel right to me. So I'm wondering if I'm just getting it wrong or something like that. So let me just do another shuffle on this because it doesn't feel right. Four of Pentacles reversed. It's letting go of bonds. Oh. And then the Hermit reversed. Okay, so this is kind of like the more let it flow in, let it flow out type thing. You might have people who are friends now that might not be friends later. You might have people who are not really friends now, but they're acquaintances that might become friends later. Don't hold tightly to where they're defined now. So like if they're a friend now and you see them as a friend now, don't hold tightly to that. Let that kind of be. Just let it see where it goes. Let it survive on its own. Same thing with, like, there's people around me that I just don't feel like they've been the best for me. They might be better for you later. Some people get better when they feel like they have a reason. When they feel like they have a reason, they're more respectful. Some people are just like that. Let it come in and out. Let it flow in and out. You're going to remember people and what they did and who they are. You're going to always see them for who they actually are. But like, let them, if they're going to be more friendly now than they have been, it's probably serving them. They're probably getting something out of it, but so can you. It's going to be like that balance type of thing. Also, there's some people here that I feel like they've been nicer to you in the past, but they got something from you in the past, and that's why they were nicer to you. When they don't think that's going to be a part of the game anymore, and they're not going to get anything from you, they don't really care what happens to you anymore. See it for what it is. Don't hold on to it. Just see it, recognize it, let it go. Just move on from it, let it go. It's a them problem. It's not a you problem unless you let it be. Keep that in mind. So there's a couple other parts here. We're not quite there yet. The outcome. We'll do the outcome first, and then we'll deal with what's going on in the environment. 9 of Cups and the Star card, which can be a lot of communication and you getting what you want. But there's this one card. Usually people don't like seeing it, but it's the Devil card coming in with the 7 of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. You're going to end up going where you want to go. You're going to end up in a new place. Making these choices, if you decide to go there, you're going to end up where you want to be. You're going to end up getting, things are going to change. The Devil is kind of like the devil on your back is what I keep getting. You're not going to forget what people say. Certain people are going to say things, but letting it go in the sense of like they don't matter. I keep getting the sense of like that person waited till I was vulnerable and they took advantage. Realize that's a them problem. Let them solve their own karma. There's something about energy that could hold you back about people who have mistreated you, and it makes sense why you would be unhappy with them. But try not to center on them. They don't deserve that energy, and they're not going to get a chance to get ahead of you or to like damage your success. But if you center your energy on them, I know there's something about energy here with this devil on your back about somebody who's done you wrong, or maybe a couple people have done you wrong, and you're just kind of there's this feeling of like I'm just gonna keep an eye on that. You don't have to keep an eye on that. Don't let that monopolize your thoughts, because there's something about putting too much attention on other people does seem to hold you back. Instead, ignore that and invest in what you want and ignore them. Don't get caught up in what they're doing. I keep getting this idea of like, I'm centering on something else and I'm worried about what somebody else is doing. And you're missing opportunities, and you're missing opportunities to move forward and things going better for you. You're missing your Ace of Pentacles. And it's not like these people have the power to take anything from you, but it's like there's some anger towards them, like they did me wrong, and now I feel like I have to keep an eye on them. They don't have the power to get in your way again. But if you keep centering your energy over that way and you keep looking at them and trying to keep an eye on what they're doing, you're going to miss what's right in front of you. The advice here is to keep clarity on what you want, not on the people who are... People are like, there's people like this. It's the fact that you know that those people are who they are. There's a lot of people in the world who are just not the best. We'll just leave it at that. They're just not the best. The fact that you know those people are not the best doesn't help you with all the people coming at you. There's going to be a bunch more there who are also not the best. You can't center your energy on that and get success. You got to be aware of that, but kind of like, okay, that one, they suck. No, thank you. That one, they suck too. No, thank you. This one, they're pretty good. I'll give them a chance. But instead of investing too much on those thoughts and those people, like, I want this. I'm going to the top of this hill, and I'm going to get that flag. That's where I'm going. Okay, I don't care what they're doing. I'm going here. And, let them struggle and do what they got to do and play their little games. You move on beyond them. You head towards what you want, and you don't let your thoughts go to them any more than you have to. Keep your thoughts on your prize and what you need. People are who they are. There is this energy of certain people around you just always doing what they're going to do. It's not new. It's not going to change. They're always going to do the same thing. You know what that game is. You don't have to worry about it, because once it starts approaching you, you're going to not playing that game. Go on. Go away. There's no need to fight it, because sometimes that's what people want. Sometimes they just show up for the fight. They might not be getting what they want from you, but they just want to make sure you don't get what you want either. So even though it's kind of like that cake, they don't want your cake, but they don't want you to have it. So if they distract you long enough, somebody else will take it, or the cake will be ruined, or you'll have to go on and do something else, and you won't have time to enjoy your cake. Don't let them take that from you by taking up your time. What is this last piece for Aries? It's a good card, but exactly what does it mean for you is a good question. 8 of Cups reversed. So I feel like that's somebody returning, actually. And the Justice card reversed. Justice card reversed. Somebody might be returning to your life as a part of this situation, and they might have had a bad rap in the past. For some reason, they might have done something, or something might have gone bad. They might have literally done something wrong to you. There might be circumstances here that they can explain, at least give you clarity. They're just trying to give you, like, you might have a chance to rectify something from the past. It doesn't mean you want to be buddy-buddy with this person, but you might be afforded an explanation that might put it at peace for you. They're just giving like a little heads up there. That's like a little side thing. So it's up to you whether you want that information or not. Because I get like there's an injustice here. Somebody returning from the past, being willing to explain and tell you all the ins and outs of what happened and why they did what they did. Not that it's going to make it right, but it might bring you some peace and it might help you put something to rest. Closure is a very powerful thing at times. I think we're good. All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.